Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Tuesday, boys and girls. Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan wearing the Houston Astros gear today. The book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian. Lots to get to today on the show. We're live on YouTube, live on Twitter, like we are each and every single day at about 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern-ish, as we always call it, at Boston versus the book to find that. Sirius XM, channel 159 on the replay with Sports Grid TV alongside as well. Happy Tuesday, Dave. A lot of baseball to talk about today. How are you?
Saw that. Very excited when I saw the rundown today. You hit all the right numbers. You hit all the right marks, except that one, which I know you fixed already because I did take the time to read it. I figured you to be in some sort of Taylor Swift outfit, some sort of between you and my wife with the text back and forth. You're both enthralled with this thing. And now we're getting our friends Dawson's talking about, everybody's really talking about this. This is a real thing.
I spent 45 minutes of my hour and 15-minute class yesterday at UNLV talking about this topic.
You did?
Yeah. It's a fascinating topic because we did it basically on all the different ways you can cover this story. And there are so many different ways you can cover the story.
So now you're the cool Professor P. You're talking about Taylor
I always
Swift.
do that. I always incorporate that. That's a very typical thing for my class. I always say take a current topic and bring it in to how would you cover this? If you're working at a music site, if you're working at a news site, if you're working at a dating site, if you're working at a NFL site, a sports site, a sports gambling site, like how do you cover this story? Because there's tentacles to everything. I mean, Skip Bayless literally went on TV yesterday and said that Taylor Swift could be a distraction for the Chiefs and they need to watch out for it because they may not repeat because Kelsey is now thinking about other things.
Bro, is that what the kids call clickbait? Like,
I mean,
what are
we
doing?
Really? Like, wow. Because like I said in my class yesterday, it's the one thing the Chiefs haven't had. The Chiefs normally are a pretty, I don't want to say a quiet pop culture team, but Mahomes married his high school sweetheart. So like, he's not dating the rap star. He's not dating the supermodel. He's not dating the high profile person. Like his wife is a very normal person. He's a sophomore. She's a junior. They meet. They've been together for years. They haven't had what the Brady, Bridget Moynihan, he got her pregnant. He left her for Giselle while she's pregnant. Supermodel.
No,
like they hadn't crossed over into the worldwide type of pop culture tabloid stuff. Now they are, and it makes perfect sense. It just happened to be that Taylor Swift announced today that her movie now is going to be a worldwide release. Just totally, completely and totally not coincidental at all that happened today.
Linus in the chat, who's always in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Just said Travis Kelce's the first NFL player to ever have a girlfriend.
Pretty much, yes. It's amazing, right? It's like, wait,
I'm not sure they're boyfriend girlfriend.
They're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Definitely not, right?
They're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
They're just friends.
Look, I could be dead wrong, okay? And I could be. I'll quote L. Duncan from ESPN, who said that was the most platonic walk she'd ever seen.
Yes.
when the two of them were walking out together. So,
yes.
It's very good for business. That game between the Chiefs and the game between the Chiefs and the Bears.
Yeah.
It ranked first for women ages 12 to 49. I mean,
because they were waiting to see the shots of Taylor Swift in the booth.
That's all they cared about. They could have cared less about anything else. I mean, to me, I say congratulations to the NFL because that is mission accomplished. They opened up to an entire new audience. It's incredible too, because in my class, I have 19 and 20-year-old girls, women,
Right.
who do not watch football, who were watching that game.
They were
100%. They said,
Are they going to watch next time?
If she's there, I asked that question. I said, what if you turn on a Chief game and Taylor's not there? She's like, oh, we'll turn it off.
Okay, so the next thing we don't have to worry about hearing is about how there's more women betting on NFL games now, right? Because they're going to make that jump because now we got the women in the audience, and now we're going to make the more women are betting because more women are watching, and they're watching because of Taylor Swift being at the games to watch her friend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him. It's not a boyfriend. I mean, can we just say that right now? There's no question.
I mean, they could wind up eventually becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know. They could. I don't know. I mean, I hope that this is not what I think it is. I hope that it actually is a real thing. It's just that everyone right now, Kelsey's jersey sales went to top 5. He added 300,000 followers on Instagram, which 2 of the girls in my class said, yep, we're part of that. They went and followed him on Instagram.
Oh my God.
So they were part of that group. Like, that's who they were after. Football fans, they've already got them. The NFL wants other people. This is so brilliant for everyone involved. The NFL on Twitter changed their name to NFL Taylor's version. Like, this is all too perfect for me. This is all too orchestrated for me to go, yeah, this is organic. This is something natural. Not buying it.
Who did Chiefs play this week?
The Jets, who just signed Trevor Siemian to be the backup quarterback.
That's who they called?
Oh, yeah. They called Trevor Siemian. Hey, Trevor, we need help. Can you come in and help Zach Wilson, please?
Hey, man.
What are you doing?
You feel like getting hit again? In case you want to come back? I don't know. Pulled a Lou Brown. I don't know. I got another guy on the other line about some white walls. I gotta go.
He didn't forget Kirk Cousins. No, let's go get Trevor Siemian. So more on that here in a little bit. Last night, Tampa's offense, man alive. I don't know if Philly's defense really played that well, or does Tampa's offense take a real big step backwards before what we saw in the 2 previous weeks. And you pointed it out yesterday that the level of competition may have been a bigger indication with the Vikings and the Bears for the Bucs than, taking a step up in competition for Philadelphia. But I'm still trying to find my way to say the Eagles are going to win the NFC East, but they just keep on winning. They don't do it in like wow fashion, but wins are wins, right?
Wins are wins. They're physically dominating the line of scrimmage. Both sides, line of scrimmage. And like my buddy Butchie likes to say down south, you win football games on the line of scrimmage.
Right.
It's not always pretty, but it gets there. And I don't know, Baker, the rain didn't help. None of that helped. They got away from the Buccaneers pretty quickly.
But his ball, like the way he was throwing, like it just didn't look like the zip was gone.
He took a couple shots too. Did you see him? He took that one shot. He got up, and I was like, "Oh no, not that shoulder joint again!" Like,
right?
You feel like Baker's one hit away from being done, and he got hit last night a couple times where it was like, "Geez, is he going to get up?" I don't know. Tampa's 2-1. Had them to be 1-2 at best at this point, so they're a game ahead of where thought they would be. But Philly's 3-0. That's second best team in the NFC still, and there will be people to make. You ready to put them? You're not ready to put them ahead of San Francisco, are you?
Not even close. I don't think they're in the category yet of San Fran. If I'm ranking, it's San Francisco and everybody else. I don't think the Eagles have separated themselves. Look, Jalen Carter's if you look at the numbers, he has more pressures from a defensive tackle position of the quarterback than even Aaron Donald. He is an absolute stud. They've got a guy who's going to be an anchor for that defensive front for a long time. And it's very impressive to watch him work, but against offenses and offensive lines that looked a little bit out of it. And then injuries happened in that game for the Bucs that really caused them. They couldn't really run the ball. They couldn't do much. They couldn't protect Baker. Mike Evans made one of the most insane catches of the season with his one-handed
went
going up. Like, that was wild to watch that catch from Mike Evans. The Bucks never looked like they were in the game. Like even when they were only down by one score and like it was a tight, most of the game was tightly contested. It never was like, yeah, the Bucks are going to win this game. Like it never felt like they were actually going to win the game. Philly had it in control from the get-go.
Agree.
So the second game, I can't believe Burrow played. I still can't believe Burrow played. And to go after one win, let's see what happens, because he had to move around a lot in that game. And they're trying to make it out like everything's fine. But let's see this morning when the drugs wear off what Burrow's cap's going to look like, because man alive, they literally pushed all their chips in for one game and one win to avoid 0-3. Which I can't really figure out. Why is 0-3 so detrimental? You can say, oh, well, Matt, 2-1.
Uh-oh. Snap your fingers. I don't know what just happened to you.
Hold on.
Rosen, come back.
Hold on. There we go.
There you're back. Okay.
Every other team in the division is 2-1.
Yep.
So if you go 0-3, you're 2 games behind after 3 weeks. Is that the end of the world?
Well, no, but it's a big deficit that I guess they didn't want to risk. Listen, Joe Burrow's a player. He wants to play.
He couldn't move. He didn't. He played horribly. He
was no zip on the ball, especially those
by
out
Joe
routes.
Burrow's standards. That offense was pedestrian. They couldn't do anything. They should have won that game going away. If Joe Burrow their defense played their tails off.
Defense is pretty, I think, underrated.
Yeah.
I think their defense
pass rushes
is really good, especially with quarterbacks that don't move much, like Stafford.
True. Right.
You gotta have a guy that's moving right out of the pocket off the play start, or is able to avoid the rush and get out. But the game falling 3 was miraculous. Again, how it falls 3. That's why it's gambling. Nothing is fixed. It's just the way it went down. And it
hurt most people, though, because it hurt. I mean, I had 2. It was 1.5, 2 for pretty much the whole week. And then when the news came, it popped to 3.
Right.
And then it fell 3. I saw offshore, there were 3.5s. So there were a couple of books down south that popped to 3.5 before kickoff.
Well, they were probably trying to find something to get, some Rams money at that point. But I don't know. I didn't learn much about either team, like anything new, really. The Bengals are just they're gonna be like this until he's right, and he may not be right for a while. So, like, their game's under.
I don't understand the purpose of it personally. Like, he's hurt. He's legitimately hurt. You can see it. He can't move. He can't run. If they go up against a team that can really pressure the quarterback, he's going to get annihilated. Like, the Bucks they are a great run stopping defense. They're not great at pass rush. And like, you kind of look at where the Rams did a really good job on Aaron Donald, but they don't have much on the outside. If they get people from the outside who can come in and crash the middle, that's where I think you're going to see teams like, the Cowboys, for instance.
Right.
I don't think the Bengals play the Cowboys, but a team like that's got the ability to come off the edge. Oh, I don't like the chances for the Bengals at all. But yeah, unders for sure for the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have Jamar Chase on your fantasy team, if you've got T. Higgins on your fantasy team, I mean, Joe Mixon might be the most valuable player on that offense now to run the ball.
Well, it's funny because they know their quarterback's hurt and they changed the game plan to do that exactly. And then you got other teams with quarterbacks that may or may not be hurt or just can't do certain things, and they don't change the game plan and they keep trying to do what they're trying to do. So I don't know. I still think, maybe Zach Taylor's a better coach than some people would give him credit for. I know you don't think so, but I'm just saying they keep winning these games.
Well, they're 1-2. Keep winning what games?
They went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They were in the AFC Championship last year. It keeps showing up.
How much of that is Joe Burrow?
Well, There was a really hobbled Joe Burrow last night, and they still found the way to win. So
True. Yep, that's true.
obviously, he wanted in. They wanted him to play, successfully win a game, and now we'll see what happens. They're on to Tennessee. I think they played Tennessee, right? They play Tennessee this week.
Yes, they do. Cincy, yes. Yeah, they
Yeah.
play Tennessee. That's bad news for them.
You think so?
They can rush the quarterback. Yeah, that defense can get after it.
Mm.
They're gonna all week. They're gonna pin their ears back and just practice getting after the quarterback.
41.
Well, here's the question: what is the deal with primetime unders? Any rhyme or reason to this? Because it is
It's happening.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's somebody showed me a ticket last night. If you parlayed both unders last night, it was like a plus 160 ticket.
2-game parlay. I don't know. I see it start, and I immediately play the under in game, and then hope it gets down. And I just didn't believe it in the first one, and I should have gone over 35 because then somehow they got a 2-point conversion to push it over the number. Second game never got there. I mean, it was under. I think I bet under 38.5 at one point because it closed 45.
Wow.
Was way off. And I think I bet under 38.5 and under 35.5. Finished 35, 19-16. So I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, it's not the short week. The Thursday games, I think, are easily explained. What do you attribute it to? Anything in particular?
I don't know. I'll say this, though. I know the NFL doesn't like it. I mean, the NFL wants primetime games to be exciting and fun and high scoring and big moments. They're not getting that.
No.
they're getting a lot of fourth quarter sleepy games. And that's not what they want. That's not what ESPN signed up for, not what Amazon signed up for. It's surprising. I mean, it really, because the game on Sunday night's always a really good game. But for the 3 quarters you were there, for the 3 quarters of the Raiders and Steelers game, it was like, week before that, Patriot game week before that on Sunday Night Football. Right? End of the game was good. The fourth quarter tends to deliver, but the first 3 quarters of these games are really boring.
Yeah. Well, this week we got Detroit at Green Bay Thursday night.
Yep.
Then we got KC and the Swifties at the Jets. Somehow that line is 9.5. I know Bushy's watching and some guys down there. Just make it 11.5. Go get the Jets money. Who in the hell is going to bet the Jets between now and game time? Forget about 9.5. I understand. Just keep it under the 10 for the teaser number. But you got to be nuts. Just move it. What's the worst that can happen? You need the Chiefs. Oh, not bad. And then Seattle plays the Giants on Monday night. I mean, we'll be watching baseball, bro. I mean, what is that? I don't know what that is. That's not a good lineup of primetime games. And oh, by the way, if you're waiting for the following week, you got Chicago and Washington lined up for the next Thursday. So it's not just this week. Detroit and Green Bay is probably the best game of those primetimers.
Do you think will the public figure this out? Will they need the over at some point?
Oh, this has been bet now for like 2 years. This is just one of those things that you just keep taking it down and get to a point where you're in with the bad guys. You know, you need over. There's nothing you can do. How low can you make the total? I mean, at least KC and the Jets is 41.5 or 42. The other 2 games are 47, and Detroit Green Bay's 45.5. They're watching the show. They're moving that up, actually. It's moving right now. 46. So, oh no, that's coming down. Sorry. They're watching the show. They're betting it under right now.
I mean, it makes sense to bet the under. Primetime unders are just right now. Look at the number of games that have gone over in primetime. I think it's just 1 so far this year.
Any different feelings about the staggered start time last night? It's not good.
No,
it's
I don't
very
like it at all.
It's back and forth. It's back and forth. At least it's on TV channels that I have, so I can just flip the channels.
Yeah, I have both games on one TV. I mean, I have a split screen. And I still hate it.
Yeah, I don't
they
got to do something about it. I love the fact that there's 2 games.
Yeah, but why not do an East Coast game and a West Coast game?
Separate them so everybody can watch it. Like, what's the need for the crossover? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird too because you get introduced to Dan Orlovsky. I like Dan a lot. I like him doing games too. Some people don't, but like they don't. You can tell they're getting used to working with each other. Like these are teams these are broadcast groups that are just kind of like Chris Fowler and Dan Orlovsky. You're throwing them together and going like, okay, go do a game. And it's like,
how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Let's go. Okay, yeah. How you doing?
Okay. So you can kind of sense that they're getting to know each other a little bit and how they are, and their chemistry is a little bit plastic. And I'll be curious to see how they progress with this, because this is now no more now. We had 2 of these. What happens next year? And do they say, okay, let's do multiple games, multiple weeks? And how do they do it ratings wise? Because do people say, oh, I liked going back and forth, or I would have preferred start 1 at 4 and 1 at 7?
Well, you know why they're doing it, right? Like it's the backup plan. It's like having multiple outs when you're betting.
Yeah, right. In case one game's good, one game's bad. Right.
If the stinker's bad, you have another game. If it's by itself, they just turn away and watch something else. So they flip between 2 games in football. I'm not saying it's right. I know why they're doing it. Primetime unders, Raymaker Lou. Good to see you, sir. Raymaker 512 in the chat. He said it's 9-2. This season.
2. Yeah.
Steelers and Browns and Vikings Eagles are the only games that went over.
Everything else is under. So, I mean, you can just blindly bet this. I think at this point you have enough data to go, there's something going on. And if the books are going to keep on hanging 45 and 46 numbers, I think it's, that key number of 44, pay attention to it. 43, pay attention to it. But if it's over 43 or 44, I think betting under is fine.
Yeah.
44, 45, 46, 47. Somewhere in that range. I think it's right now, that's the play, just blindly until this trend stops. But I don't know. Do you feel like that the referees aren't calling as many flags this year?
It's certain teams. Yes. But it feels like other teams,
the 30 and 40 yard penalties. Flags. Yeah. But like, we're not seeing the 30 and 40 yard pass interference flags that we've seen as consistently, because that really is what changed scoring. Is it we didn't know what pass interference was, just chuck the ball up there and get a 50-yard penalty.
Right.
And then you're in scoring range. And so often teams were hunting for those flags and running routes that were going to create pass interference that would give the offense a chance to score.
Right.
I don't see those flags. I don't see them nearly as I see illegal contact a lot, which is a 5-yard penalty.
Right.
And a first down. But I don't see the chunk yardage, the hidden yardage through penalties. I don't see that this year as nearly as much as we have in years past.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I can't stand when they do, like when they throw that back shoulder thing and they have the guy come back into the defender while he's playing defense, and they just automatically throw a flag. Mm-hmm. Now, we've seen some non-calls on some interference things.
Ravens.
There's no question. There's no doubt it's interference, and they're like, not called, which is strange because it seems like everything's called up until then. I don't know if do you think it's a conscious effort?
Well, the league always puts emphasis on certain things, right? So my gut tells me the league put an emphasis on illegal contact and a de-emphasis on pass interference. Because we're seeing way more of illegal contact and holding, defensive holding, than we are pass interference calls. Only 3 weeks.
Stacks is in the chat. He said, "Why don't they call false starts?"
Oh God, that's a whole.
What is up with that? He's right. Mikey Stacks is right. They don't call it.
Right. They're missing that big time. And how do you feel about the tush push, as they're calling it now?
I mean, it works. It's
not football though.
You're not allowed to do it. How do you defend that?
I don't like the Reggie Bush push. I don't like
rugby.
It is rugby. It's not football. Right? I don't like it. It's not. I don't need it for safety reasons. I just think it's not real. It's like if 5 guys are pushing forward, it's easier to go forward than you go backwards. It's harder to hold somebody up than it is to push them forward when you have 5 people coming at you. Right. There's nobody pushing back on a defensive lineman perspective. There's not 3 or 4 guys behind Jalen Carter pushing Jalen Carter forward.
Why not? That's the next iteration, right? The defense does.
That legitimately is rugby then. That's the rugby scrum. I don't like that. I think they should get rid of it. I don't think you should be able to push somebody over the end zone or over a first down marker. Should be, if you're a quarterback, that Tom Brady was great at that. You just get down low, get your pads down, and scoot. I don't like the fact you can push it.
We'll ask the chat right here, guys. If you're watching the show wherever you're at. Apparently, we got people all over the world watching it right now. Yes or no on the tush push? Is that, are we going to adopt? Is that the name?
Yes, that's now the name of it, is the tush push.
Gorov said right away, 1 star, get rid of the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Jack, tush push is dumb, but why doesn't every team just do it? Which is also dumb. It's a good point. Why doesn't everybody do it?
They
works.
do. It works. Not everyone wants their quarterback
That's
in the middle of that sandwich.
One certain guy doing that.
Yeah. If you're brittle, I don't know if you want your guy. Like,
no,
I wouldn't want Garoppolo too much, in the middle of that. Guys who get hurt a lot, I would be careful with on this. One more football topic, and then we'll get to baseball.
Yes.
So this is already out, Dave, and we talked about this before, but this is number 1 pick, number 2 pick. Caleb Williams, Minnesota Vikings. We're already talking about Caleb Williams and Drake May. We're already talking about the heir apparent, the replacement for Kirk Cousins is already being projected.
Right.
And if Caleb stays in school, number 1 is going to be Drake May. He's going to go number 1. He would go to Chicago. But what do you make of this if you're the Vikings?
Does Drake May have another year of eligibility?
He does. He does. I doubt he would stay, but he does. He's a junior.
Why not?
Oh boy,
because
it's different. Chapel Hill's different than LA. And it's different. I mean, Carolina's not USC.
I don't know.
So Drake May, you take the bag, but I don't know if you want to go to Chicago and take the bag. Go to that dysfunctional nonsense.
I don't know. That's a legit. It was never really a choice before. Now it's a choice. You don't have to go. You can stay and make money, I guess, or whatever. Should they trade him? They're favored again this week. Why would you trade him?
Because your year is over.
Minnesota goes and beats Carolina. They're 1-3. Here we go.
Okay. Here we go. Where?
Detroit loses to Green Bay this week. They're 1 game back of the division. I don't know. I don't think it's time to start shipping.
The Jets took Trevor Siemian instead of calling about Kirk Cousins. There's just no logic to how these teams operate.
Maybe he said yes. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Viking fans are done with him.
Are they?
Yeah, they're done with O'Connell. They're done with Kirk. They want a fresh start all the way around. I mean, it's really interesting because all the talk here in Vegas is about firing Josh McDaniels, and all you're hearing right in Minnesota is how but Kevin O'Connell is not the guy. This is, you have a generational talent in Justin Jefferson. You've got to maximize the opportunity.
D Stout 19, our resident farmer on the tractor, who we're going to get him. I'll get you a hat. I promise I got you a hat. We're going to work on a design, but he says, I'm done with Cousins, period. Done. Trade Cousins, please. My health can't handle watching him every Sunday.
Viking fans are done.
With you. Wow.
Told you. They don't like either one. They want them both gone. I mean, you look online. Viking fans have had it. Viking fans want to. If you're going to be
just win 13 games last year together.
Yeah, but it was the biggest fraudulent 13-4 ever.
That's maybe true.
Everybody was like, how many people were lining up to bet against them in the playoffs? They're like, get the Vikings to the postseason. I cannot wait to fade them. And look what happened. So Kirk Cousins is a really nice guy.
Clause. Like he ain't gonna take. He has a no trade clause. It says,
yeah, he's a nice guy. You go walk in and say, "Hey, Kirk, we don't want you anymore." He go, "Okay."
No,
I guarantee it. He doesn't even reside for.
I want to get traded to the Jets. I think if I have a no trade clause, I'm just saying, you know what? I'm good.
He doesn't have a full-time residency in Minneapolis. He lives full-time in Michigan still. His house for that quarterback show. He went and saw where he lives. Built a house in Michigan.
Listen, if you had a no trade clause, you wouldn't get traded to New York Jets right now either.
Oh, I would. Hell yeah, I would.
Why?
I can win.
What?
I can win. You kidding me? I can win.
You can win in Minnesota last year and get the last contract of your life.
Vikings defense is horrific. Jets defense is really good.
Oh, you can win.
You can win with the Jets. You can win a wild card spot with the Jets. You can win with the Jets. If I'm a competitor, I'm saying, sit down, kid. Let a grown up
Jets
play the
1-2.
Yeah, that's great. To win a wild card spot, they are absolutely, with a good quarterback, they are 100% live. With Zach Wilson, they are 100% dead.
100%.
So, like, you have, if I'm the Jets, I would have done everything. I would have said, hey, look it, you're on an expiring contract. We signed our quarterback for next year. We already know Aaron Rodgers. Next year we'll play quarterback. But right now, we need a quarterback right now. So what do you want, Minnesota? What's the asking price? And we haven't heard any of that. We haven't heard about phone calls or even no's. We haven't heard anything about that they would even consider shopping him. But your point is, well, if you trade him, what's that say to your fan base? It says the year is over. They got a bunch of home games left. People may not show up.
Oh, those Minnesota people come to do the Skol chant and do all that other stuff, right? They're coming. They better go beat Carolina this week. I don't know if they're going to beat Carolina this week. If they lose to Carolina, then the trade talks may pick up next week. Business maybe, foe may be ringing. Might be time. They win this week. See how Detroit Green Bay goes, Thursday. They lose. I think we're talking about it on Monday going, where's he going? He's going somewhere.
We haven't seen a major quarterback trade mid-season. When was the last time that happened? I can't think of one.
Can't either.
Where an actual starting quarterback got traded in the middle of the season. I don't remember one. If there was, chat, tell us, because I don't know of one that had actually happened, but it would be a lot of fun if it did happen. I'm here for it if they would do it.
Right.
Even though I don't want the Jets to be good. I would be curious just to watch the experiment. But I don't know. The race is on to me between Josh McDaniels, Kevin O'Connell, Brandon Staley. Who gets fired first?
Chargers are going to beat the Raiders this week. Staley's fine.
So then it's McDaniels then. So then it's Josh McDaniels then.
I can't say he's fine. I don't know. I don't bringing all these people in and stuff, but I'd be shocked if the Raiders go beat the Chargers.
Why? Every year they play them tight every year.
Is Jimmy G going to play?
No.
Who's the backup?
Let's go, Aiden O'Connell. Kid
That's
looked
a
great.
Good thing.
That kid looked great in the preseason. I know it's preseason football, but
I was going to say
I ain't starting Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer. I ain't playing Brian Hoyer. No way.
Brian Hoyer is to break the glass, right?
Yeah, he's just a guy to if everything is he can run the offense. Like
right.
He can drive the car. He can't drive it anywhere, but he can drive it somewhere. Like he puts it on the road and keeps it driving. Aiden O'Connell might actually be able to do something. I would love it. Let's go. Play the kid. Oh, yeah, I'd play the kid 100%. Garoppolo can't go. Play the kid. He's got an arm. Just look for Devontae Adams every time. Where's Devontae? Throw the ball to him every time. Devontae.
That'd be pretty easy. Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I would do. But, I mean.
Total's 47.5. Ugh.
What's the line right now?
5.5.
Chargers?
Yeah, at home. Yeah.
That'll close at 7.
There's 2 places at 6 right now.
Yeah, once it gets announced that Garoppolo's not playing.
He's not going to play, right? Like there's no.
He's in protocol. He's in the concussion protocol. He's not playing. No, he got smacked. He got smacked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to miss a week. When you're in concussion protocol, it's so different. Like you have to go 3 days with passing all the tests. So like you have to be able to pass it on what? I think it's on Wednesday. You have to be able to pass the test Wednesday, Thursday. No, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So by Thursday, he's got 2 days left to be able to clear. It's Tuesday. He's in the protocol. So it's really hard to get out of the protocol Thursday, Friday. He has a test out of it on Wednesday, tomorrow, and then be clean for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you can play. It's really hard. When you get a concussion, it's really hard not to miss a week.
made a couple really bad decisions on Sunday. And
Oh,
I could see it. I was just like, man, I don't know.
That interception, the second interception was insanity.
Just
Like
literally just throw it right. Just throw it. It just was like, I can't get sacked. But
He was seeing ghosts, or he
just-
just was just like, I'm not getting hit right now, and I'm throwing the ball away.
Chef Benny came in and sat in the chat, super chat, said Chargers and Survivor. You want to use Chargers and Survivor this week? Whew.
I'm not there yet. I got to think, but
It's
it
a
may
division game. You roll it out.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Good point. Yep, cross it out. Yep, division game done. Nope, not doing it. Cross it off. Division games are automatic. No place.
Right, line through for you.
Yeah, not doing it. All right, to baseball. Arizona. What the heck was that? You got to win that game yesterday against the Yankees. Can't blow that.
It was disgusting, that game.
That's bad to blow that.
Is there like 12 people at the ballpark? Did you see the highlights?
See what they announced for the attendance?
I did not.
41,000.
There weren't 41,000 in the entire Bronx. What are they talking about? 41,000 what?
Ticket sales.
Seats in the building?
No, ticket sales. I told you. It's what they do. It's why when we were having the argument,
41,000.
when we were having the argument about the A's, you said there was 3,500 people. I said that's ticket sales. How many bodies were in the building? The Yankees announced an attendance of 41,000 people yesterday.
So don't the tickets have to get scanned or ripped or whatever to count that? No.
Nope.
Wow.
How did Nebraska keep their sellout streak going for all the years when they sucked under Bill Callahan and there were monster sections of empty seats, people not there? The tickets were sold.
Holy crap. JC from KC said the Bengals traded Carson Palmer to the Raiders in 2011 midseason. Thinks that might have been the last starting quarterback traded.
Fair. Okay. So over a decade ago was the last time it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was kind of keeping an eye on that game with the rain and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, this would be one of those games. Like they're going to blow. They're going to lose. And it might cost them a spot.
Right.
Like an in-between series, rain game, blah, 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 blah. So I don't get it. I said, man, it's going to be great. It's Tuesday. We got 6 days of great baseball, up, down, sideways, who's in, who's not, what game means something, what game doesn't, positions, trying to find a bet that gets us live for, the other side of the bracket. I don't know. It's going to be fun for me.
All right. So let's get into where we are here, because I'm actually really curious about watching these things and watching these games. So we have a lot of things to break down at the moment, but let's talk about the standings.
Yep.
We start playing the American League East today with the Orioles holding a 2.5 game lead over the Rays. That's
right.
Also for the number 1 seed in the American League.
Yes.
3 games in the loss column. Orioles and the Rays. Orioles have won 2 in a row. Rays lost on Sunday. The only other debate and race in the American League is the wild card spot. And it's the second and third wild card spots, because whoever doesn't win the East will be in the postseason for having a wild card spot.
So did you just punch Texas's ticket to win the American League West? They still have to win.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Okay. So I overlooked that. I still think that's over.
I do too, based on who they're playing. Texas is going to.
They've won 6 games in a row. They won yesterday 5-1.
Yeah.
Angels don't look even remotely interested in playing baseball. And I mean, I watched part of that game and I was like, man, I bet the over in this game. That was dumb. Team total for the Rangers was the play, because the Angels are dead. They don't care.
Did you see the interview with Mike Trout?
Yeah.
Very
he just won't say he just won't say it out loud. He's so image conscious. He just won't say what he really thinks. Get me out of here.
Or
that little devil on his shoulder is saying, just say it, Mike. Just say it, Mike. Just say it, Mike. Say it, Mike. Say it, Mike. And he just won't say it. He just will. The other devil's like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. He's listening to the good devil.
What's he supposed to say?
Get me out of here. I'm a hostage to my own stupidity. I signed a contract that I never should have signed.
Still paying them.
I was really, really hoping this team would actually do something. I thought when we had Shohei that things were going to be different. This team is run like something you see out of a movie, a bad remake of Major League.
Oh, man.
Get me the hell out of here.
Who are these guys?
Find me somewhere to go that I can actually play baseball on a team that wants to attempt to win. Because these guys don't want to win anything.
Another season wins under for the Angels.
Another wasted season for Mike Trout. Going to go down as the most buried, wasted, all-time great ever.
Such a bummer.
He wouldn't even say it. He wouldn't even commit to the team for next year. He wouldn't even talk about where he wants to play next year. Just a bunch of word salad, blah, blah, blah.
Word salad is such an outstanding use of two words put together to make one that describes exactly what that is. That's a perfect. Watch the clip. You're just like, that's word salad.
Yeah.
He's mixing them around, this and that. He ain't saying nothing. Nothing.
3-game lead in the loss column for the Rangers over the Astros and a 4-game lead over the Mariners in the loss column. So I'm not completely putting it out of reach, but I think they got a good shot to win the West.
They're like minus 800 to win the division.
Yeah.
So.
Blue Jays, 69 losses.
Yep.
Astros, 71 losses. Seattle, 72 losses as we start play. One of those teams will not make the postseason. 2 spots, 3 teams.
Gossman start today. Big start for them. They lost the Gossman start last time out. Toronto's in complete control of everything, right? Like they win.
Oh, yeah.
2 of 3 versus the Yankees. I think that'll be good enough. And then they only have to win 1. I think 3-3 gets them in. So, I don't know. Odd man out right now. Seattle.
They got to win today.
I was texting our friend Joe Fan yesterday, who's, he's selling houses and doing other stuff now, but he's still dialed in. I see a tweet. I see it last night. And he's just like, you can feel the pain. They're supposed to win that game. Castillo's supposed to pitch good, all this other stuff. Verlander just shuts him down.
Verlander was amazing last night. He was exactly why you got him. That's why you went and got him. Like
that was an ace start, right?
Yeah, go win a game we need. Here's the ball. Go 9.
Yeah.
Like just go dominate. Just go do everything we need you to do. Just go out there and be the best version of yourself. And he was tremendous. And then the National League wild card, Phillies are in. They haven't clinched, but they're in. Diamondbacks 74 losses, Cubs 74 losses, Marlins 75 losses, and the Reds 77 losses. 2.5 games separate the second to the Reds. 4 teams, 2 spots. Cubs and D-backs start play today tied.
Did they both make it?
No.
I mean, Green's pitching today against Giolito. I don't think
the Cubs play. I mean, my problem with the Cubs is that the Cubs are playing the Braves. And if the Braves are interested, they're dead. But I'm not sure the Braves are interested.
Are they? I was going to say,
I don't know if they're
interested.
And so let's go through the
Steele's
games.
Last start of the regular season, right? I mean, unless they need him to pitch Sunday, he could go Tuesday, Sunday. If they need the game to win to get in.
Yeah. So here's the thing. A lot of people have asked these questions about the Brewers 21-1 bet that I made a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Had a variety of questions from people. How do you do it? Why are you doing it?
Still having questions.
Still
channel.
Yeah. And now
BVBshow.com.
I got this question this morning, which is interesting.
Oh.
Is there an American League version of this?
Ooh.
Can you do it from an American League perspective? This is the bracket as of today.
Well, it's the Twins or the Astros. Whichever equivalent you think. But the Astros prices don't justify it like the Brewers prices.
Like the Brewers were 21-1. They're 19-1 or 20-1 today. Yeah. They got as high as 30-1 at BetMGM, and then that stopped because people started the pros hammered that thing back down into shape because they were way off price, way off market. So most books are 19 or 20 to 1 here. So you can still do it. There's still a lot of value with that Brewers play because we're going to bet the Cubs in the first series.
Right.
And the Cubs are going to be plus 120, 130, 140, whatever it is. So we're going to bet that coming back in the first series to be either profitable, or we move on to the Dodgers series, which we'll bet the Dodgers and so on. You think the Astros price, so the Twins are only the only way to do it, but the Astros are going to be favored. I don't think you can do it the same way.
Well, no, because then you would be taking plus with the Twins.
Astros,
Twins.
The Cubs are dogs. The Cubs are dogs here. As a 6 seed, the Cubs are dogs.
Right.
The Astros are going to be favored against the Twins.
Yeah, right. So the Twins will be dogs.
Right. So you can't bet the Twins to win the World Series because you're betting a 30 to 1 ticket. You can't bet the first round. There's no way of betting the other side unless you want to lay juice.
Small. It'll be small the first round.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, depending on the
champs up
matchup.
against the Twins with home. I mean, really?
Yeah, it'll be close. It won't be as big as you would think.
Okay. My answer is no. There is not a bet similar. It's why I did what I did. Do you see one?
Or you can take dogs against them the whole way.
Not the whole way. I mean, you just need to get the second round. You need to get past the first round, second round. You get to the NLCS and you're feeling great. But I think the Brewers could beat the Dodgers. That's the thought. I don't think the Twins can beat anyone.
I mean, it's painfully obvious to me. It's the Rays. The Rays are the fourth choice.
Okay.
You got to go to wild card route.
What's the Rays price today?
What is it, 10 to 1 to win the American League?
Well, we're doing World Series is what I
right. So
what
it's
I was
probably
doing.
Close to 15 or 20 to 1.
It's 11 to 1.
That's it.
Yep. That's what I mean. It's just not the same. I mean, you could bet the Mariners, but they're not in. The Blue Jays 17 to 1.
Right.
Yes. Well, so all right. So what's the price between the Rays and the Jays?
Depending on a matchup, it's minus 120.
So it's small.
Small. Rays small.
So you could hypothetically you could do the same thing with the Rays, with the Jays rather, with the Jays. Yeah, but they got to make it
plus money.
They got to make it
right.
They're not. If they make it, do those odds change? Does it come down?
Well, if the Astros catch them and get that spot instead of the division, the Astros go down there. Now you may actually have. I don't think the Astros at the Rays. I don't know if the Astros would be favored or not, but that's a pick'em. So, I mean, the road in the American League is a lot different. There's no clear cut disparity between almost everybody.
I said no when they asked me. I said I'll talk about it on BVB, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see an equivalent bet to the Brewers bet that I made at 21 to 1. Just one from a value perspective, and two, just I think the Blue Jays, now talking it out, I think the Blue Jays could be a bet you can make at 17 to 1, but they're not in yet. So it's different. Like the Brewers won the division. Like you feel comfortable firing on that because they're going to be in the bracket. They're there. The Blue Jays are in the bracket today, but they
4-game losing streak this week, they're out.
Right. So there's no guarantee. And they're only 2 games up on the Astros.
Right.
So the Mariners could be the team out, but the Astros could catch fire here down the stretch, win 7 games in a row heading into the postseason. And all of a sudden they're sitting at that 2 wildcard spot.
Right.
And so the whole bet is off. The whole bet, the whole path, everything is off. So my answer is no. There's not an American League equivalent to that Brewers bet that I made with that. So games tonight. Miami's a minus 125 favorite against the Mets. It's Garrett against Lucchesi. How do you say the kid's name? Do we know?
I say Lucchesi.
Okay. Who wins? Here are your stats. Braxton Garrett has a 2.52 ERA on the road. He's 6-2 with an opposing batting average on the road of 2.27. Lucchesi lost this matchup, Garrett, against him last week. It was a 4-3 win for the Marlins. If you remember, they tied the game in the ninth, and then the Jays, and then the Marlins won the game in the bottom of the ninth, 4-3. 5 2/3 in that game, 2 earned runs. Braxton Garrett went 6 innings, no earned runs in that start. He's 3-1 over the last 4 starts for the Marlins. I'll give you the totals for this game. I bet the under in this game, so I'll give it to you now, I guess.
Okay.
41, 33-1 to the under on the road for the Marlins. They have the 4th fewest road runs scored per game this year. 45, 26-4 to the under at home for the Mets. They have the 20th for runs scored at home in Major League Baseball. So I like first 5 Marlins at -124. I like Marlins for the game at -126. Those prices were last night.
Okay.
But I bet the under. I just took the 8.
I don't know. First thought is Florida.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I hate the total. I don't know
why. Why do you hate the total?
It's the numbers right. It's finished
7.5 or
right?
8. It's 7.5 now.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I bet under.
Right there.
I took the 8.
Under.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel better about under 8, but I mean, it's going to fall right 1 or 2 run. I mean, it's right there. I feel strongly about this at all.
Could be a 2-1, 3-1 game though.
Well, it could. That'd be
the
great.
The Marlins are playing further. I mean, this is what they're going to do. They're going to pitch and play defense. They don't have the offense really to contend. I don't know. The only way this goes over, I think, is if the Mets just don't give a flip, and the Mets get run out 6. Up 6, 7 runs.
Yeah.
So then that's possible. It's very possible that could wind up happening. Chicago is at Atlanta. Braves are -135 favorites here in this one. Steele against Elder. Total was 9. Now it's 9.5.
Yep.
The numbers are Atlanta scores 5.8 runs per game at home. Chicago is 4.8 runs on the road per game. Steele has given up 12 runs in his last 9 innings worth of work. The finals of those games were 13-7 and 6-4. Elder is really good at home. He's 7-1 at home, 3.26 ERA. But his last 3 starts have been 6-5, 9-6, 8-2.
You went under in the Braves game?
No, I bet over 9.
In Atlanta? I mean, like who?
I bet over 9. Yeah.
Like I don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh man. I feel like the Cubs really have to win this game. Right? The Braves don't have to do anything except show up the rest of the way. I think
And do they want to win 101, 102?
Right.
Like what
But
do they want to win?
Win 1 and it clinches the home field, right?
Sounds right. I mean,
I think it's 1, maybe 2.
Let's see. The Braves
Steele
are
has been bad.
100
Cheshire Cat is in the chat. Cheshire Cat in the chat. I'd only bet the Braves. Yeah.
Wow.
It's tough.
Steele has once Steele realized he wasn't going to win the Cy Young, the wheels came off.
Well, listen, man,
he's tired.
I was going to say that stuff catches up quick. And then, the pressure, I don't think he's got more than 3 runs of run support in a month. Like that, they're not.
Yeah,
runs.
I mean, he has, but he's given up too many. The last 2 starts were 13-7 and 6-4. So
yeah, they got to the bullpen after he left.
Tattooed.
I don't know.
Him. I mean, he gave up 9 runs in 12 runs in 9 innings. 6 runs the last 2 starts. He's given up. It has not been pretty for Justin Steele.
Oh, this guy's in the chat. I see Floodhouse is in there too. I bet the yes in the first inning in this game. Well, I like the yes. How about
Yurfie,
that?
I don't mind. I don't mind a Yurfie on this game.
Yeah.
Sure. Braves in the first 3 over team total has been just a consistent play. Over 2.5.
Cool bet on Bet Rivers that I look at for the Pirates stuff.
Yep.
Team to get the lead and win the game is a bet. You can take the 1.5 plus or minus with each team and the game over.
If you get the lead, can you relinquish the lead and then come back and win it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think once you get the lead, that part of the bet wins. So first team to score and win. Each team is an option.
Okay.
You got to score first and you got to win the game. which is there's so many unique bets. I started to go through the menu because it's the last week.
Right.
It's the last week of the season for the Pirate stuff. So I was trying to just do something fun and look at all this other stuff. And I started looking at the menu and I was like, God, this is a rabbit hole I don't need to go down right now. Focus.
Right.
Stay focused.
Arizona, after losing yesterday to the Yankees, they're at the White Sox. They're minus 150 favorites here. Davies against Urena.
They better.
I mean, right? I mean, could you imagine they lose this game?
Davies loses? No. I can't.
I mean, they got
I can. This is how the season ends for them. If they go to Chicago, lose 2 games to the White Sox.
So annoying. I mean, as a fan of baseball, I've been there before. My team has done that where you go into a series and you're like, this team's dead. They don't need to play for anything. We should be winning. And then you lose and it's like, man, you had a shot to get in the playoffs. They're such a young baseball team. I don't know. They might be tired. I mean, the Diamondbacks might be tired. Yeah, they might be tired. It's a lot of baseball.
Young team. Come on. I can't.
Inexperienced young team.
They better win that game. They better win that game. Is anybody watching that one?
Nobody's watching that game.
Right?
Diamondbacks, White Sox? No one's watching that game. They are the only team, I guess the Marlins are too, and the Reds too, I guess. But their run differential now is only 18. They're only minus 18 now. So they played really well down the stretch. They're almost back to even for runs allowed and runs scored. 39-39 on the road. The White Sox are 30-45 at home. Come on, Arizona.
Come on,
Arizona. The Reds are small dogs.
Mark Nix just said in the chat, I have not seen this, and thank you. This is why I love the chat so much. This is what we do. We interact with the people. Okay. He just came in and said, Dave, have you seen the White Sox tickets? The box seats are literally $1. You could go to the game tonight for $1 to go watch the Diamondbacks and the White Sox in Chicago tonight.
Oh, no.
$1?
Wow, that's embarrassing.
I wish I was in Chicago. That'd be a hell of a night out. I would take watch kids, everybody. Let's go.
$4 to go to a game. Can you imagine? 4 tickets, $4, box seats.
Let's go.
They're banking on making money off parking and concessions. Just need bodies in the ballpark.
What's the lowest you ever paid for a ticket to anything, a sporting event?
What? Like major or minor?
I've been in major league stadiums.
I've been in minor league state. I've been minor league for 50 cents.
You actually gave somebody 50 cents for a ticket?
No, it was a special. Basically, it was 10 tickets for $5, and and then they gave you.
Was this in Huntsville? Where were you?
This was in Huntsville, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was where was I? Promotion? No, I think it might have been in Virginia.
Oh.
It was like minor league baseball. Single season, short season, single A. And
10 tickets for $5?
But then because they made money on parking, they made money on everything else. It seems they didn't care about the ticket prices because a hot dog was $4, parking was $10.
Oh,
they made all their money just getting a human being into the ballpark.
This is great. Now the chat's running with this. I'll ask everybody that's watching the show, watching it live. If you could get in for $1 and you were close by, would you go to the game tonight in Chicago? Because there's guys going, I'm not even going if it's only $1. I'm not going.
Well, think about it though. Okay, so tickets are $1, right?
Yeah.
Parking is $30. A beer is not.
Sucks.
A beer is $9.
At least
a dog is $8.
So,
I mean, it sounds great and all, but you're still out. You're still gonna drop a C note. It's still gonna be $100 a person. That's the hook on Major League Baseball. That's the hook on all pro sports right now. Ticket prices are outrageous, but it's everything else that you get hit with. It makes it impossible.
Would you guys go? There's a hell yeah from Eron Sean. Chef Benny says, I only sit in a box. Chef Benny's becoming a little bougie. I'm surprised by Chef B. He's only sitting in a box. I sat in a box, so it's pretty nice. I sat at the box of the Legion. JC from KC, absolutely. Linus said yes. Kevin Whitrock said, I'm not going to the south side of Chicago for $1 for a ticket. Not doing it.
That's the other problem. where the ballpark is located. It's the other big problem that's there. Yeah.
Should ask our guy Z. Z wouldn't go. Z would not go. I don't think he would go. I don't know. We got some Chicago people. They're the ones that saying no. Me neither. Cheshire Cat, no way. Man, oh man.
Can you take a subway to the ballpark?
The L. They call that the L, the elevated train. The L. Yes.
But so then that takes down at least the parking cost.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, I mean, I did when I went it was 1992. It was a long time ago, but I went to that ballpark. We brought our bags right from the hotel. They checked our bags at the ballpark.
Wow.
Because we said we were flying home right from the game. So they did. It was great. Gave the guy a tip, checked our bags, watched the game, got our bags, took the L right to the airport. It was great.
Interesting.
Josie Myers said, I'm in the Army, and I wouldn't go.
That's phenomenal. All right, so Houston wins the game yesterday. Verlander was tremendous, like we mentioned.
Yes.
Astros Seattle game 2 today. Mariners favored.
Yes.
Who do you like?
Coming down, though. Like, this is one of those ones I see overnight. Like, and you've seen overnight prices now, and you're starting to think about the numbers and different things like that. You know, that ain't right.
TBS is the
Kirby, Javier. It's minus 120 right now. Minus 122 is as high as minus 130 in two places, but all the 30s are gone. So
Javier is 5-2 with a 3.71 ERA at home. 237 opposing batting average, 28 earned runs given up in 68 innings worth of work. I don't know if I'd fade Javier. He's won his last 3 home games.
Yeah, I want Houston. I got Houston yesterday plus money. You're going to give me Houston again plus money. The Mariners have lost, I think, 4 in a row at home. Things are going bad for them. If you're going to get Houston, usually it's against Javier. But what do you say? He just won his last 3 starts, 4
at
starts?
home. Yeah.
Forget it.
Last 3 home starts. He beat the Orioles 2-1. He beat the Padres 7-5. Beat the Red Sox 9-4. Then lost at home to Tampa 4-3. But then the home start before that beat the Mets 10-8.
This is Javier you're talking about.
Yep. Beat the Angels 9-6. 7-3 against the Cubs. I mean, him at home has been a pretty good bet.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, but it's in Seattle. So they're not.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so on the road. So sorry, I'll flip that around. So on the road, I thought they were home. No. Okay.
No, Houston's at Seattle.
That's a little different. He's got a 5.4 ERA on
the. Snap your fingers.
Right. Click 1, 2, 3.
Look at that. Nope. Come back, Jack.
And there we go. Okay.
There you go. Now you're
Javier has a 5 point. His ERA is high. He's over 5 on the road. He lost his last road start to Kansas City. Beat the Red Sox though 13-5. Beat the Marlins 6-5. Beat the Orioles 8-2. So he's not horrible.
Right.
Pretty much the same thing. He's 9-4 in the year with a 4.64. At home.
Our friend Mr. C is in the chat. He said Javier is definitely a fade, and then he just asked Dave, "Have you lost faith in the Mariners?" I have. I'm sad about the Mariners. I wanted to see them in.
Kirby at home has been pretty good. 6-4, 3.1 ERA.
They can't hit.
So
can't hit. Look at the Mariners last 6 games.
He has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his last 7 starts.
It's not good.
He beat the A's last time out.
Everybody
against
beats
against the Dodgers at home. He gave up 4 earned and lost. Lost 1-0 against the Orioles at home. 9 innings, no earned runs, and got the loss. That sucks. Yeah, that's no fun. I don't know. I said Houston was going to win the division. They're not going to win the division. The Rangers are going to win the division, but I think Houston wins this series and keeps Seattle out. I think they keep Seattle out.
Yeah, I'm bummed about Seattle. I mean, Seattle got to play Texas
next. Yeah. Speaking
they got to win these 2 games against. They got to win a game or 2 against Houston and just keep that dream alive.
Texas minus 160. Minus 165 today?
Please. Do you want Angels?
No. Seems
Who
low.
wants Angels? That's one of them games. Like, as the game approaches, it's 6:38 Pacific, 9:38 Eastern. You work the mid shift. You go in at 10. You sit there all day. The guys go to lunch, the morning guys. You're like, is the game on? I don't have no bets on that game. The only bets I have is parlays on Texas. Then they leave, 4 o'clock start, and you sit there, and it goes, but you don't have no bets on the Angels. Just sit there, and the guy calls in, what do we need in the night game? What do you think we need? We need the Angels every single night. No one's betting the Angels today. Nobody.
Would you bet run line on the Rangers?
Instead of laying 150?
It's 164 at
It's not a
FanDuel.
one- It's not
It's
a
minus
154.
It's minus 108
Ooh.
on the run line at
Ain't
FanDuel.
laying that run and a half and laying juice.
Agreed.
Not a fan of that.
I feel the same way. I agree.
You know, that's just
I
that. Those are those like. Then when they win by one, I really feel like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like I don't like.
I've been there many times this year. Yes.
Yeah.
As baseball has gone, run line bets and me have not been friends. It's been an okay bet for me, not a great bet for me
Right.
this year. Preferred to bet totals this year. My record on Major League Baseball, I am 120 and 11. Sorry, 111. I'm 120 and 111.
Okay.
Up 0.4. I am actually making money in Major League Baseball at the moment.
Not even a
0.4.
full unit. That is a hell of a grind there, son. They're really putting in the time, but you're not losing.
Almost 250 wagers.
Boy,
be
that makes it
0.4.
worth it, don't it? Like, oh my God. When you start to look at it like that, you're like, what am I doing?
I'm getting wait. Full disclosure, I'm getting paid to do it. So like this is like
That's fine.
I wouldn't be doing this otherwise.
Right.
Like, making that many wagers and not making any money on it is not smart, but I'm getting, I'm obviously compensated to do the juice, so I can go ahead and do that. But it's just funny when you look at that number and you're like, I'm going to end the year somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 bets. I've hit 51.95%.
Which in a money line sport is tough to actually make money.
It's
You
impossible.
you got to be
Way
better.
more. 54, 55.
You got to be 55.
Yeah.
I think usually.
I mean, you got to be way better than what I
Or
have.
you got to catch the breaks on the run lines when you're getting the pluses.
Yeah, right.
You got it's like when you play 21. You got to hit the doubles. You could keep making money. Speaking of 21, this is Bear Mauling's second to last graveyard shift is in the books. He's going to be off the graveyard shift. That's a big deal.
It is
For those of you that have worked at graveyard shift, when you don't have to work that thing anymore, your life changes. It's a nice thing.
You have a life.
Congratulations, man.
You have a life. Why is this number so low between the Rays and the Red Sox? What's going on with this?
You tell me. I don't know.
Red Sox are dead.
Eflin.
Rays need this game. I didn't bet it because I was going to bet it last night. I was like, what am I not seeing? I was like, I need to talk to Dave before I bet this because I don't understand this.
I don't understand this either. I saw this.
Why?
I thought this was the gift last night. Like I was like, wow, they just missed it. Like, or they think Hawk's gonna shut him down. Maybe is
But Eflin is really good, and the Rays need the game.
Yeah.
So
I
you don't get it either. Okay.
No, let me see. Hold on, I'll check.
I was just confused beyond confused. It didn't make a lick of sense to me as to what this number is. I was like, why is this number so low?
Let's see. I'll check. I get this thing.
Eflin on the road this year he's 4-4. He's 11-4 at home, but he's 4-4 with a 3.65 ERA. He pitched against Baltimore on the road. They won 7-1. They've won his last 5 starts, and they've won 6 of his last 7 starts. The Rays have with Eflin on the mound.
The Rays' priority at this point may be health over wins. Randy Arozarena, right quad, missed most of the weekend in Toronto. And Yandy Diaz's right hamstring was pulled from Sunday's loss. The Rays are postseason bound, but their chances for AL East title look bleak.
Agreed.
They moved Eflin up. He's pitching Tuesday instead of Wednesday because Aaron Savali is dealing with an illness.
Okay.
Tampa's won 9 of 11 this season versus Baltimore.
No,
The
Boston.
Sox are finishing on a sour note. They have a 7-19 record dating back to August 27th. The number's wrong. This is a race play.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I saw it
I
right
don't
before I bet it. I don't get it at all. The number makes, as a Red Sox fan, they're dead. They're like done. FanDuel minus 126 right now. Other books minus 125 right now. Money line, like you can get kind of crazy and go run line if you want, but you don't even have to. That's plus 130.
Well, I mean, they send that injury report like this guys may not play. I mean, if Noah Rosarena, there may be behind closed doors the Rays. I think they're going to try to play and hope Baltimore loses
For now,
maybe.
I mean,
another
until,
game or two.
I mean, it's 3. So you play it until you're dead.
Right.
They're not dead yet. They're still alive. I mean, the Orioles have a magic number of 3. You can still, if you win and they win, okay, it takes them 3 more wins for the Orioles, but you don't want to hand it to them. You want to go play hard until they win the East.
Be something if Baltimore lost today to Washington as a $2.40 favorite. What does he got? $2.45.
Minus $2.45.
That's $2.45, $2.50, $2.40, $2.50. Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, Baltimore's going to be the number 1 seed, huh?
Yep.
Can you imagine Kevin smiling from ear to ear?
You got to win it with it, though. Getting it's great. Got to win with it.
It's a hell of an accomplishment. And it's exciting for a team that, listen, they ain't been good in a long time.
Playoffs last playoffs was 2015, right? Last time they were in.
So jealous.
So been a while for them to be in. So them getting in as the 1 seed, home field advantage.
5-game minimum series, the first series too. You don't got to sweat that. Like, man, we won 96 games and we got to play this damn 3-game series.
Right.
And we lose.
Right.
Like you played a 5-game series, you set everything up. Baltimore. By the way, they are at Caesars William Hill. I checked last night. I will check again today. The Baltimore scenarios are the favorites. Baltimore over Braves and Baltimore over Dodgers, the lowest odds of all the scenarios. They jumped the Braves. And it's only because they know they're in. Like they know they're the 1 seed.
Wait. If the Orioles play the Braves,
the price on the Orioles to beat the Braves
is the odds-on favorite
was 12-1. Flip it, it was 16-1. I couldn't believe it. The Braves scenarios have been the favorite.
That's a mistake
for a month.
That's a mistake.
I saw it last
That's a mistake.
night.
There's absolutely
I passed out at
that is an absolute
100%
100% mistake that the Orioles are favored over.
There are 2 scenarios
Atlanta.
over the Braves and the Dodgers were the number 1 choices. I couldn't believe it. I was so tired, and I was like, I talk to you every damn day.
So play that out.
Sleep.
Yeah, but play that out.
Told my wife, I'm like, I'm not calling him, but that's a mistake. I was like, I was going to call you.
That has to be.
Pick you up. We got to take a ride.
Right. That has to be because of the red number they have on the Orioles futures, right?
I'm looking at it right now. There it is. Whoa. Somebody's having fun this morning. Orioles Braves is the favorite. That's Orioles to beat the Braves.
This is Caesars William Hill.
Yeah. 12
could be available in where you guys are located.
Anywhere you're at. Yeah, this is all over the country. The next one is Rangers over the Braves. Is 14-1. Then it's the Braves over the Orioles at 15-1. Then it's the Rays over the Braves at 16. Are we saying the American League's the favorite now? Wow.
What book? Any book have a National League over American League bet? If I'm getting plus money on the National League, I'm betting that today.
Championship winning league in the same book. National League's minus 130. And the American League's plus 110. What the hell's going on? I don't know. I'm doing it right now. I'm looking at the numbers.
What are we doing?
I don't
What
know.
is this?
Taking bets.
Taking
They're
bets.
playing around with the numbers.
Is anybody paying attention to this?
They might be.
How is this is like having a total that doesn't add up to the right total. This doesn't make any sense.
Listen, it's their prices. They can do whatever they want.
Of course they can, but it's not logical if you can't say to a bookmaker, hey, by the way, your Braves number doesn't equate to the actual numbers you have on a head-to-head.
We need a bet on that. That's what maybe they need a bet on that Braves.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
yeah,
they must have a monster red number on the Rangers and the Orioles, and they must
somebody
no
came
more.
In and said, give me the Rangers over the Braves.
Yeah, and they want no more.
It down. They just said, yeah, we're good right now on that. Yeah. Yeah,
because that's the only way that makes any sense to me. Because
those are the ones
Braves,
I was looking at buying. I was looking at buying the ones over the Braves just to see, because I thought, all right, we'll see who can get there. But that's crazy. That's that they're the American League ones are the favorite.
No way. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, how could you not love the Braves? I mean, look at the Braves lineup. Look what they've done. Look at their pitching staff. I mean, what are we doing?
You ever see that Fat Joe meme or gif or whatever with the voice where he says the price today, the price yesterday is not the price today.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going to be on these futures for the next week. The price yesterday is not the price today. I don't know. The Dodger prices are absurd. They went all the way down there in the 20s.
That's
Dodgers
fine.
over everybody.
I agree with that.
Oh, you're pushing them out?
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't have the pitching. They're not getting past the Braves. They're not getting past the Braves.
Okay.
I think the Brewers can beat them.
Well, your Brewers prices, you got to scroll way down. You could buy some Brewers scenarios. I can't even find them. The first one is Brewers over the Orioles, 75-1.
Love it.
75. That's the lowest. Man, oh man. Gonna have to call Mish and all the Brewers fans.
I don't know. Look, pitching is pitching.
Get them to the NLCS with those tickets. Woo-hoo! What is
pitching
the O's
pitching
over the Brewers? Let's see. Orioles over the Brewers. Orioles over the Phillies is 55.
And big business. Oh, I'm unfreezing. My friend Big Business just said Rangers over the Braves. I know a guy.
Rangers over the Braves. I know a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. But all right, that's interesting. That's a whole thing to watch over the next couple of days. Keep that handy. We'll check in on that every day this week to see what the prices are. See if anybody wakes up and realizes what the hell is this price. It makes
Orioles
no sense.
over the Brewers is 75-1 as well.
Yeah, that would make sense, right? Both sides.
Yeah, both 75.
Yeah, I don't mind that. What is Atlanta over the Rays?
Atlanta Braves over Rays. Braves. You know, that's the hard part about this thing. You just got to search. There's no numbers. There's no organization. There's no nothing. Braves over Twins is 40-1. So I would think it's got to be lower than that, right? We got to go up.
20-1.
Braves over Rays is 18 today.
Okay.
That's Braves my most likely. Astros is 20.
That's my most likely World Series right now.
Braves Rays?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think the Rays.
Out of the 4 spot, the Rays are going to get.
I think their pitching is
okay.
Their bullpen and their pitching and they did not fall apart the way I thought they were going to fall apart in the wake of the Wander Franco situation. They haven't missed a beat.
Right.
And I question the Astros bullpen. I question the Rangers bullpen. I question the Orioles bullpen. Like I feel like these are going to be collapses by some really good teams, and the Rays can just score 4 runs and win baseball games. That's how I feel about the Brewers too. Same situation. It just comes down to the starting pitching and the bullpens for these teams. I like the Braves pitching. I don't like the Dodgers pitching.
Right.
I'm not jumping up and down about really anybody else in the National League pitching wise. It makes me go like, look out. Phillies have experience, but that bullpen is nothing to be excited about.
Right.
So I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So we'll do a lot of baseball this week, guys. We'll be watching through. All right. Big announcement in the sports betting world. A thing called Bet Vision was launched. This is what we've known for a long time.
Yes.
What was going to happen. This is a streaming platform that's going to be embedded on your sports book. There are 3 books that have decided to take advantage of this, that have rolled it out in year number 1.
Yes.
You're going to watch and bet this. Genius Sports, the NFL's official data distributor, unveiled this morning, where it is a low latency video feed of some regional game broadcasts, which will include pop-up graphics and advanced stats such as catch probability, integrated betting odds, and on-screen wagering offerings during breaks, as written by our friend David Perrault of ESPN.com.
Yes.
Customers will be able to place their bets on the same screen while watching the game, a first for American sports books. Now, we've seen...
Is it too busy? Did you watch the demo?
I did. It's not for me.
There's a lot going on the screen.
It's not for me, though. It's not too busy. You don't like watching things on your phone, though.
I don't like watching things on my phone, let alone trying to bet on the same things while I'm watching on my phone, trying to bet on the same thing.
If you watch on a tablet, if you watch NFL football on a tablet,
which I've done,
you will love this.
You think
you'll be all over this? Yeah, you'll be all over this. I mean, it's just, I don't think today's gambler will use this.
Nope.
I think tomorrow's gambler will. I think the kids
bet on it.
I think kids right now who are 15 to 21 who are going to be coming of age in the next decade, they will use something like this and they will be all in on it because they're accustomed to it. I watch it with my kids at UNLV and I'm blown away by, I still can't believe it. I asked them, what piece of content do you consume every single day? And out of 13 kids, 1 person had an answer. I said, what do you mean? They go, well, everything we see is curated towards the algorithm. Like they give us they know what we like and they just give it to us. I don't need to watch the same thing every day. I get the same topic every day from multiple different sources.
Yeah. That blows my mind.
Does mine too. I mean, like they don't have a show. They don't have a station. They don't have a channel. They don't have a talent. They don't have any of that. They just have constant algorithm driven content that's given to them. So for this, it won't be too busy. They'll just be accustomed to it. They'll be like, okay, I'm watching Bet Rivers. Here's the stream of the NFL game I want to watch, and I'm going to bet the Eagle game while I'm watching on Bet Rivers.
Raider Nation came in and just said, we've been able to watch the game on British betting apps for ages.
Correct. This is a first for us. You're absolutely right. This is very normal for British people. So let's ask you that question. Do you do it? Have you ever done it?
He said the graphics aren't great.
Well, BetVision supposedly is an upgraded version of it. So
right. Minimum bet's $1.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge hook.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge hook. People will try it for $1.
Mm-hmm.
They might stay. They might use it. Serious gamblers, this isn't for them. But that's okay. Like we've talked about that. The market may not be for you. Like consumption of content. You and I talk about it off the air all the time. Even like with Jess, we're not the audience. That's fine. I don't know. This thing is great for the operator. This is awesome. If this works, it's great for the operator. The latency thing, it says in the material.
Yeah, but you can be low. This is what pisses me off. This is why I got mad when I read the press release, because I can call anything low latency, meaning the product that I deliver to you, that is a fast. I'm not slowing down the feed by putting this on the game, is what that's saying. But if your internet is not fast,
don't matter.
It doesn't matter what the hell BetVision is. BetVision is not the problem. Your problem is your cable modem, and your over the air, whatever you're doing. Because I guess this is the new thing now, where you have cell phone companies who are delivering over the air internet, and people are saying it's really slow. And when it's busy, it's extremely slow because they pull from different places. So if you're in a high traffic area for cell phones and your internet is coming through a T-Mobile tower, good luck. You're really slow. So that's a big, I mean, I don't care whatever you call it being low latency. It's what does the customer have? How can they handle it? What are they seeing? How far behind are they? Because I can tell you right now, YouTube TV is it's not even, I'm watching on my application and it's really bad, like 3 or 4 plays behind.
Oh,
it's really, really behind. Yeah, it's really far behind. And Amazon is even worse. Amazon is super far behind. So I'm watching the game. I'm watching on my app, and I know it's like 3, 4 plays ahead. It's like I know exactly what's end of half, end of game situations. Like if you're watching Sunday Ticket this weekend, do it yourself. Pull up the DraftKings app and watch how far ahead DraftKings is than what's on the screen. No, I like it. I like it because I like knowing ahead of time. I'm not one for drama. I want to know exactly what the hell's happening.
I know, but if you're actually watching the game with intentions to see
bet?
something,
oh, forget it. Yeah, you got to wait till breaks, commercial breaks only.
Or you're just watching to confirm what you already bet. You're not watching to bet. Like I can't not watch the app. If I'm watching a game or even think about making a play, I can't not watch the app. All I did was watch screens for the last 2 years.
Right.
I never had the fastest feed in the book, so I had to learn how to watch it off the screen from other apps so I could adjust when I needed to. But I was watching the game too to try to adjust my own opinion into the game as well. So it was very difficult. I like watching a game without anything on it and closing the app. It's still watching the game is important. I think this puts it all together and mashes it all up. Like it's going to be for people that don't like betting, they'll never use this ever.
Agreed.
This isn't going to cause someone to go, oh, I can do this now. Oh, I'm going to try it and bet. They're going to be like, wait, this is too much. It's way too much.
Yeah, E makes a good point. He says you have opportunities to live bet NFL because of the slight break between plays, but NBA season, good luck.
Oh, the NBA's the basketball is the hardest sport. It doesn't translate to in-game betting as far as like opportunities. Football is the perfect opportunity, as well as baseball's great.
Golf, the golf is the best. I mean, you're talking about
golf. The shots are too. You don't have enough information.
What do you mean?
Like you don't unless you're at the golf tournament, you can see it. You don't see it on the TV. They don't show the guy walking to the hole. They show him when he's standing over the ball.
Right, but the shot itself, it's what he's done in the previous days to bet birdie, bogey, eagle on the hole, going into the hole.
But you don't
the walk between holes.
Usually see the lie or nothing until like
no, you did
30 seconds before he's going to hit the ball.
Correct, off a tee off though. I mean, shot by shot, I think is ridiculous. I agree with you on that. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm going to bet in between holes, golf gives you quite a bit of a time between first and second holes to bet. Is he going to birdie the second?
Oh, the hole. Yeah. I mean, shot to shot. Yeah.
I think shot by shot betting on golf is ridiculous. I think shot by shot pitching on baseball is ridiculous. Snap by snap football is ridiculous. I think all of those things that they're trying to create betting markets.
On Mondays and Thursdays now on Sports Grid with me and Ranieri, they gave us these, I think it's Simple Bet is behind them, but they want us to do the drive bets availability.
What does it end in?
And Jack had to create these graphics and stuff. And they're like, you got to do these. And I'm like, we got 30 seconds to decide. They're coming out of commercial. We're coming on. All right, what's the first drive going to end in? The price, this, that. Like, I know how to price them.
Right.
But how do you bet them? It's so there's too. Is it too much?
No, but it just like anything else, the public will tell you whether or not they want it. You can offer whatever you want. Doesn't mean the public's going to bite on it.
All right. Well,
I can offer a million different shirts and hats and sneakers, and
all right.
If people don't like it, people don't like it. Like
that's fine.
People need to buy it in order for you can put whatever product you want out there.
Right.
It's just if the public doesn't like it, like the same way when I was in CG betting pitch by pitch with the little remote control thing you guys had at CG,
that handheld tablet thing.
That thing back before we knew what an iPad was. You guys had that thing out there where you could go ahead and bet how much money you wanted to bet, and was it pitch or was it strike, whatever, single, double, triple, whatever you thought was going to happen.
Right.
That died. Nobody liked it. people didn't like it.
It was too fast.
Yep.
It was people couldn't get their bets in. That was baseball. Like we were in the back trying to put the lines up. Like this computer was spitting out numbers that were just absurd. We're like, what is this? You can't use that. Try to do it. And we had a couple guys come in. You've met a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
It destroyed us, giving them nickels. And the guys in the back, one guy from England was like, yeah, we can't use these numbers. Oh, okay. Well, how are we going to do it? We better figure it out. It was crazy. I was still out front at the time, and I was watching the frustration level go up and up and up. But you had to give us your ID and hold that iPad thing or whatever that tablet was. It was like
I didn't know what I was doing. It's in 2008. I didn't know what I was doing. I think I lost like $85 that day trying to do that thing. I was like, this sucks. I was like, I don't like doing this at all. It was really hard.
What happened when they gave that to me and said they put 100,000 in the account and said, bet, just we want to just see what you do.
Right.
I'm like, there's no limit. They're like, no. I think I made 87 bets in a basketball game. Damn. I created a middle and did all the things that I normally, like, how'd you learn how to do that? What were you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get both sides. And they're like, oh, you could do that? Like, you didn't know that?
Like, you don't know
what
that?
What did you think these guys are going to do on the other side? And that's everything changed.
This is just a little PSA warning for all of our friends out there. Just let you guys know what is going on.
This is real.
This is real. Okay. And this has more to do with the Beyonce and Taylor Swift concerts, that the IRS has decided to say, look, if you made a cottage business of going after and buying tickets and reselling tickets through Venmo, a new law has been passed that requires the ticketing platforms to tell the IRS about users who made over $600 last year.
Total or on one
selling
sale?
Tickets. Over $600 total over one sale.
Sucks.
The law was changed.
What is that?
It used to be $20,000.
And it went to 600?
And over, the threshold used to be $10,000 in 50 transactions. That's what it was. Now it doesn't matter. It's just $600. If you were selling tickets, now this is only with tickets, but if you sold football tickets, if you sold baseball tickets, if you sold whatever you sold in the ticket market, that transaction, which has been run through the ticketing platform, through PayPal and Venmo, if it's over $600, the IRS is going to come for a cut. You're going to get taxed on that income. People are not happy about this. This is not a popular decision by the government to do this.
Oh my God. That
the average
terrible.
The average resale price for Taylor Swift tickets on her tour was $2,000.
For regular people or for the ticket brokers?
For regular people who bought it through these apps. Face value of a tour was $254. Reported average was $2,183. Yeah.
Wow.
So
you better not use. Can you do it with cash?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's right. But that's the point, is there is actual transaction record they can go and pull. The IRS can pull that from, whatever ticket broker they want to pull from. How did this ticket get sold? How did you do this? Where did it come from? Here's where it came from. This individual sold it through this and that and the other ticket resale, because it's all, like Ticketmaster. I can sell you a ticket through Ticketmaster with their authorized resale. The way you pay me is via Venmo. So Ticketmaster gets their cut.
We got to go back to the way everything was. I want paper tickets. I want to meet the guy on the side. I'm going to pay you with cash. Give me the tickets. I'm going to walk in.
Right?
I keep the stub. I remember it from the stub.
I missed that.
I went to that game on Sunday.
Stubs.
I had to download some app.
Yep.
I threw the phone at Jess. I said, figure this out. I'm going to go get a shower. I don't know how to get this ticket. I don't know how to get it transferred. I went to the game.
Let me see. You must have
couldn't
downloaded.
go into one gate. He said, you got to go in the other gate because you got this sweet ticket. I'm
right.
like,
yeah. Down low. Right. You
I
walk
had
around.
to download this.
Yeah.
Then it said, make sure you don't take a screenshot because screenshots don't
work. Correct. Yep.
So there was so many restrictions. I said, all I want to do, sorry, Will, is just go to the fucking football game. That's all I want to do. I was by myself. I had to take the bus.
No.
At least the guy took cash for the bus ride.
There you go.
It was $2 down, $2 back. I gave him a pin and said,
AXS, right? The AXS app.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. That's the app you had to download.
Then they sent me an email. I had to confirm my
Yep.
identity with the email. All of a sudden, I just
now they
want
have
to
your
go
email.
to the game.
So now they have your email address and they can pepper you with it. So they make you confirm the email address because now they have it in their system.
Oh,
and they know what game you went to.
Bullshit.
Oh yeah, they know what game you went to. They know you're a football fan who went to a game, and here's what they're going to give you now, and you're going to get the emails and everything else. Yeah, that's how the world works now, Dave.
You're off the list.
Nope. Good luck with that. You're on the list now.
Damn
yes, I've had it happen. So that's the point. Access, Ticketmaster, yes. So if you are someone who has sold tickets in 2023, be wary. There could be something popping.
Our guy Otto just said in the chat that he wins a bowling tournament now over 600.
Yes.
And they pay him in that. He got to pay the taxes for that.
Like
the bowling
depends,
stuff.
Yeah, it depends on. I know that they are very much going to target Venmo in 2023. That's very much a big target for them. The government, the IRS is definitely going after those transactions that are of the larger size. They let the smaller ones go, but the larger ones are definitely going to be looked at and taxed. And
man, oh man.
Yeah. And then one more quick one before we let go of Sports Grid and SiriusXM. 18 versus 21. Kentucky, there are two operators when Kentucky goes live mobile-wise. We'll take bets from 18-year-olds. The reason is there is no evidence up to this point that being 18 creates more of a problem for gamblers, more problem gaming than a 21-year-old. So Kentucky's going to be the guinea pig. We're going to find out.
Well, how would they know? Because nobody 18 was able to gamble.
Well, New Hampshire's had it. Rhode Island has had it. But they haven't done research. There has been no research done that states that being 18 is more dangerous than being 21 to legally sports bet.
So they're going to do it in Kentucky. They're going to get data from this. They're actually going to get tangible information to make a judgment.
It looks that way, that they're going to do the research in Kentucky to try to find out whether or not it actually, because it hasn't been in a big population. Kentucky is the biggest population state so far to go to 18. And not every operator is abiding by it.
How many people live in Kentucky?
More than New Hampshire and more than Rhode Island.
That's fine. Those are New England states that are small. Kentucky's big, but does it have a lot of people?
Starting Thursday, when Kentucky goes live, 7 digital sports platforms will be live. It'll become the biggest U.S. jurisdiction by population to allow legal wagering at the age of 18. Bet365 and DraftKings are allowing it to happen. Barstool, BetMGM, Caesars, Fanatics, and FanDuel will not take bets from anyone under 21. Circa, which is licensed, won't launch till later this year, but Circa at this point up to now will allow 18. They've said they will take bets from 18-year-olds.
I mean, if it's illegal there, why wouldn't you do it?
I mean, it's right.
I'm surprised that the ones that said no, like Bet365 is going to get all the kids.
DraftKings too. Yeah, DraftKings.
Yeah, and their menus are deep. Like they unless they just really don't like the visual usage or whatever of this, like they're never getting off of those apps.
Yep. So it's the current jurisdictions.
That's 3 years of a head start of having a customer. 18, 19, 20 until they're 21. Until you do the other. That's crazy to just give that up.
Montana, New Hampshire, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C., Washington State. But there's no digital wagering in Montana or Washington State for that matter. But you can be 18 over the counter.
Wow, I just got a text from one of our guys, boots on the ground. Jay Dow.
Yeah.
He's going to let us know how it goes. He's helping with the launch.
Oh, okay. There we go. So Thursday.
We'll get some instantaneous. That's fantastic to know. I'm curious how that'll go. Dubsy's back there, by the way.
He's in Cincinnati, so he must be there for Kentucky too. Yeah.
He's there.
He was at the game last night.
Yeah.
He went to the game last night. So hold on for you guys live on YouTube and Twitter. Hold on. We're going to continue this conversation on the other side. For you guys on Sirius XM and on Sports Grid TV. Thank you for being here. Back tomorrow, same place, same time. If you are live, you get bonus time. Just to put a finishing touch on this. So they say the operators said that they have set their mobile sports books for 21 and they don't want to have to change it for just one state.
Fair.
So every other state is 21. So they just said, fuck it. We're not going to do this just for Kentucky. We're going to wait. It's 21 in other places. It's 21 everywhere.
I totally understand it then, because any loophole, you end up with getting past posted. You end up getting a lot of bad things can happen. It's not worth the business. If you keep everything uniform and the same, you don't got to worry about that. So totally, if you do that and mess up somewhere else, like, you take under 18 or 18 and under 21, 18 to 21 in that state, and it happens somewhere else where it's not legal, big fine probably.
Yeah, that's what Brandon Bussman, who is the consultant managing partner of B Global, said. The problem that it comes down to for some people is making the switch in the KYC and tech stack. Everyone has their tech built around 21. It's not just like two keystrokes to add a 1 and an 8.
Correct. Not worth whatever amount of business and all that other stuff. No, not worth it.
To open yourself up across the way. So, Ohio regulators have called this irresponsible because they know what's going to happen. The Ohio Casino Control Commission Executive Director Matt Schuler told WCPO, quote, the age group that is at most risk for developing a gambling problem is males 18 to 35. The younger ones are most vulnerable as they are not at the age where they can thoroughly process the consequences of their actions. Not my opinion, scientific fact. The target audience for gaming is males, theoretically 21 to 35, but I suppose in Kentucky, 18 to 35. So you have this convergence of the target audience being the most at risk. I mean, every single damn kid in Cincinnati is driving on Thursday to Kentucky to go bet. I would do it at 18, 100%.
You did a lot of things at 18 I wouldn't really recommend.
True, but I did them at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, I just 40, 42, 44. I mean, it's like a lot of things I wouldn't recommend people do that I've done. Marriage is one of them. But so kidding. But that's,
it's fair. I mean, it's all fair.
I would. I mean, every kid's going to be jumping up and down.
Kids, there's going to be college.
Are you kidding me? Yes. Rhodey, let's go.
What about the University of Kentucky? What about Louisville?
Monster.
What about? I mean, that's a huge thing. The college
they're going to camp right there. It again, the best. You said it. I don't know, 2 years ago. It's. I keep on quoting it. The best thing that ever happened to your local bookie is legalization. Because 18, 19-year-old kids are going to look at this and go, I like doing this, but like, how much is your price? I'm minus 105. I'm on credit. You want to go minus 120 to them? Oh, you got to put out money. I'm not putting money out. You can bet whatever.
Oh, you're making a very good pitch for the guy. That's not good. You're frozen now. You're frozen. You got whacked. Wake up. Snap your fingers. Oh, you're back. Okay.
It's easy. I mean, it's legitimately an easy sell.
Yeah.
It's what my guy, I mean, it wasn't even legal on my college campus. And my guy was able to say like, hey man, just every Tuesday morning, I'll knock on your door. We'll settle up. Either I pay you, you pay me. You don't got to worry about it. Just go ahead and call my beeper.
Call the beeper.
Yeah. Call my beeper. Go ahead and
showed your age.
Yeah.
Kids, look it up. It was called a beeper.
And then he had the text beeper where you just text him the place. And you just go ahead and just you go ahead and just type it in.
Believe this.
Yeah, he would come across and he would see it and he would mark it down and show up on Tuesday and go, all right, I got you up here, down here, whatever you might be, and let's settle up.
Oh,
it happened on Tuesday.
Settle up figure days was Tuesday. To this day, Tuesday reminds. Oh man,
boom, boom, boom. But between my first and second class, every Tuesday, it was great.
Really?
He knew where I was. He knew I'd be in my room on Tuesdays. He did his rounds in the dorm. He had 4 dorms that he collected for, and that he would just come around and he'd knock on the door, pay you out, whatever it is.
Is that Sully?
No, it wasn't Sully. He was a big fucking bald kid. He was. You did not fuck with that. They picked the right kid. Like he was a bodybuilder.
Oh,
you did not mess. He was probably 22, 23-year-old senior. He was a big kid, and you did not mess around with him at all. Like when he came calling, and I was smart about it. I never got myself into any real trouble. I don't think I ever gave him more than $100.
Right.
Like I was never like crazy. I think the most
Did you actually have money in college? I never had money.
Well, I sold. Remember, I worked throughout college. I sold radio. I mean, but by the time I left, at the time when this was going on, I wasn't making as much money. But when I left UMass, I was making $1,000 a month in commission on sales.
Oh, you were hustling.
Yeah, wow. I was doing well. I never had any. I ate out well, and I threw parties. And, I lived right. So it was, and that's why I figured out with sales and marketing and how to do it and how to get the hustle down. And I was traveling everywhere. I mean, I was never home. I was always traveling.
Wow. You were living a life of Riley.
I went to my senior year at UMass. I went to California, Texas, Hawaii, Ohio, and Florida.
On the college's dime.
On college's dime. As with a team and with either men's basketball, women's basketball, or another team that wanted us, either lacrosse, soccer, whoever else wanted us to come around.
It's fantastic.
I'm trying to get UNLV to do it. I'm trying to get them around the idea of what we built at UMass. I'm trying to get them to implement it at UNLV. Being like, guys, we can do this. Like, this is not hard to do. Like you could really start this program up on the West Coast because nobody on the West Coast is doing this. I did it 20 years ago.
Right.
And the kids are responsible to make the money to go out and do it. They have to go sell it. They want to go to that tournament, make them go sell advertising.
Right.
Just to get it sponsored. Hustle. Teach them. I mean, kids today.
Why don't we should do that as an example to show them and then say, look, these kids can do this. Let's do this. We just did it.
It's way easier when you have a passionate sports fan base to sell to. That's all we did. We just went to the diehard women's basketball fans at UMass. When we said, hey, you get no attention. Right. No one pays attention to you.
Yep.
We're going to put you on radio. So you instead, because they used to have to listen to the games on the other team's broadcast on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, hey, we're going to put it over on radio, over the air FM radio, 91.1 WMUA. Right. We're going to put them on. And they were like, really? We're like, yeah. But we need you to sponsor this. Right. Collective Copies. Look it up. They still exist. Wow, title sponsor, UMass women's basketball. And you just find it with men's basketball, with men's football. You just find,
we should do that with the softball.
100%.
They'll 100% do it.
So you can build a whole season where because this is
the baseball already does it probably, right? The games are baseball.
No, kids do it. They don't go any on the road. They travel very little because there's the one thing people have told me when I've kicked the tires on this is that Lotus, who's a local company here in town who owns the rights to UNLV, they've been extremely protective of everything. And I've said, when's the last time you asked? They're like, well, we don't want to really ask them. I'm like, well, can I ask them? Because I know all those people.
Right.
I've worked with them for years. I know everyone in that building.
Yeah.
So can I walk in and be like, guys, what are you doing? Because if they tell me we need to hold women's softball back in case one day we want to put it on ESPN Las Vegas, I'm literally going to start laughing in their face. Right. I'm going to go, guys, like, can we please stop this? Like, this is stupid. What are we going to make? $1,000 a year off of this? You're not going to miss it. Get over yourself. Let the kids learn how to do it. It makes you look better. You helped out. You were willing to play ball. So
I'll do it tomorrow with Kylie and Kelsey.
Right.
They would be able. I guarantee we'd go sell it. One of them could sit next to the dugout and be the reporter, and me and the other one would be the analyst. We could do the game.
Call the games.
It would be
great. You could call the games on video. You can video stream it on top of radio stream.
Right.
You can do all. And the thing that UNLV has that we didn't have at UMass is they have a digital channel. They have HD. They have an HD2 digital channel that you can put all the games on. So like just
Tyler just came in and sent me a message. You can retire earlier if you start hustling earlier.
Amen to that.
Nobody's retiring yet, Tyler. Nobody's come on.
And
it's a good idea.
But I'll be doing this. I mean, people have asked me that all the time. Like, you're like at 46, like what do you want to do when you're 60? This? What do you mean?
Doing it.
I said, what do you mean I'm doing it? Like I'm not doing it. I'm not going anywhere. As long as I can do this, I'm doing this. Like I've been doing this since I was 18.
Right.
I'm not stopping because I turned 60 or 65 or 70. This is retirement for me. This is retirement. Like this is what I'm doing. Like there's no question here. So a couple of quick ones and then better to book it.
Yep.
Sun stunned the Liberty in game 1. Liberty minus 9.5 tonight in game 2 to come back and smack them.
I wouldn't bet the Sun again.
Right?
I wouldn't bet the Sun again.
Liberty come back huge tonight.
Jay Buck, he's a big Suns fan.
He is.
I think he was there. No, he wasn't there because it was at the Liberty.
Okay.
He was at the last Sun game that they won to get to this round.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know he's rooting for him. I don't know. Maybe in game Liberty.
When it gets down 7 or 8, 6, 7, 8.
9.5.
It's a lot.
I think the Sun have covered every game against them except one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be on with Wetzel. Wetzel's all over this WNBA. Send me text right now about the WNBA. I just rely on him to do it. Like this is one of those ones. Just put it up and just go.
Vegas won game 1 by 16. Dallas catching 10.5 tonight. Hard not to like Vegas tonight, right?
Hard not to like Vegas.
I mean, they've dominated this team. They've beaten up on them. They look locked in again. They look like they care again, which is huge. Yeah, I'm with you. I like
Tyler just came in the chat. He's going up to Cincinnati for the weekend.
Oh,
for the
there he goes.
Maker main event at Hard Rock, putting together a little BVB.
Ooh. Meet and greet.
Meet and greet. That'd be great. Yeah.
There you go.
How about that?
Time for just a short little. Book it times. Braves 9 over 9. Braves Cubs. Betting or booking. Half a run CLV.
I think you got to bet it. I think this is a bet. I don't want under in this game. It's over or nothing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have got Marlins Mets under 8.
I'll book that one. I have no idea. When I'm not sure, I just say I book it because that means I'm just telling the audience.
Both numbers have moved.
The show. Yeah. It's not. I don't feel strong about it, but I don't feel strong about the bet either. So book it and take my chances.
Both games. It's now 7.5. That number scares me a little bit, but
it is 7.5.
So I'd rather have 8 personally. Get a push potential out of it. You gotta get a 5-3 final and you lose. That stinks. You're laying 7.5. So
obviously you'd rather have under 8 than under 7.5.
Right. I'm just saying, I got it last night. It moved. Both numbers moved. The Braves game went up.
Go to bet it, right? You're not giving them numbers at all.
Right. You're not betting my numbers.
You actually bet it last night. It was 8.
Yes.
Opener. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it came down. It was 8 everywhere. And then I woke up this morning. I was like, 7.5 everywhere. And it was 9 everywhere for Braves and Marlins. Well, actually, no. That's not true. There were 3 books. DraftKings, FanDuel, and somebody else were at 9. Vegas was 9.5. That's why I bet 9 on that. Okay, super chat questions to be answered from you guys. Okay, first one, Chargers in Survivor. We touched on it briefly from Chef Benny.
Bougie, so. Chef Benny. It's a divisional game. We'll have it a little more.
I say no.
Dialed in later in the week. The Raiders aren't beating the Chargers.
Yeah. I don't know though. I'm serious. I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I can't agree with that.
Quarterbacks,
I can't agree with that.
Tuesday. I'm not. I have no idea.
Yeah,
if you haven't used the Chiefs already, use the Chiefs. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs are going to beat the Jets.
Jets beat the doors.
I don't care if Taylor comes again or not.
It's great. Let's see. Bear Mollings. He bought a Tua MVP last week at 9-1. It's currently plus 380. Thoughts on Tua, the MVP? He's my MVP so far.
It's after only week 3. And
Yeah.
yes, that's congratulations, Bear. You got a good closing line value ticket. Put that thing up on the fridge and stare at it and enjoy it for now.
For 3 months.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I would start to look at other options, so you can have a backup plan. It's nice to have a 9-to-1er, but it's nice to have 3 9-to-1s too.
Right.
So just keep an eye
True.
on it. Yep.
Crunchy came in with a $10 one to us saying, sorry guys, missed most of the show live, catching the tail end of it now. Just want to give you guys a little something to let you know you're appreciated. I want my hat, Matt. LOL. Yes, Crunchy, you are going to get a hat. I need you to send me.
I saw Crunchy on Twitter.
Yes, he's on Twitter.
I'm going to DM him and we'll get the
well,
style.
DM me. Yeah. Either or. Just we need your colors as to what type of hat you want. What colors you want fitted? You want a trucker
base
hat?
color hat like this. You
style
pick the
too.
Base color.
Style.
And what colors you want the B's and the V to be. Most likely, it's a snapback. That's what this one is. Just because it's a more open supply. So pick the color of the hat, the color of the B's and the V, and we can see what we can get done. We got our guy.
We'll get it out to you.
You got a hat coming, Crunchy, as does our guy, Stout, the farmer. He's
nice.
I traded text with him this morning. He's got one coming as well. I'm thinking about tomorrow being a hat day giveaway. I don't know what to do, but we ain't got no lawyers to answer to. And if we get over 100 people watching at some point, I want to ask a question.
We did it today. Instead of higher than
that.
No,
I know, but they got to stay a certain time. I got to answer one thing. Whoever answers
we're over at 100 right now.
Tell a joke.
Over 100 right now.
It is. I'm going to come up with something. I want to send somebody a hat.
No, let's do like you have to say a bet. You have to give a play, and if it hits, give us a plus 200 or higher dog.
I don't need him a bet. I just want him to win.
No, not an actual bet, just a play, just see if it hits. Just some way to differentiate. Pick a crazy dog, like a crazy, like they do on game day, like a super dog. Pick a super dog, and if your super dog wins, we'll give you a hat. I don't know. Just you cannot do a super chat to get your pick in because that's then a lottery, so you can't do that.
I ain't getting in no trouble.
Right.
I just want to get somebody a hat.
So people might go, what if I do $1 super chat, then I get my, I can highlight my bet. No, you can't do that. That's not allowed.
But you can do the super chat period every day. It doesn't have to be for the hat.
We just can't we can't be giving you anything back in return for that in a contest setting.
Oh,
it changes it. If they're paying for entry to win something, it turns it into something different legally.
We're not doing that then.
Correct.
If anybody's watching or listening.
Yeah, right.
We're not doing it. We're in BVB bonus time. We're definitely not fucking doing it.
Favorite thing about today is what?
This morning, Big Business just came in and thoughts on the Mariners and Astros tonight. I like the Astros. Sorry, Big Business. I like the Astros. Royals versus Tigers. Olsen versus Greinke. Mr. C came in with a super chat. Mr. C, you're the only guy. Seriously, you're the only guy looking at the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers game tonight.
Pretty much.
Right?
I'll give you that. Yeah.
I mean, even JC from KC, who's a diehard Royals guy, he ain't even looking at this game. It's dog. How do you take a minus in a game like that? Christopher, you know that.
Fair.
You must have girl dad brain right now or something. My God. I don't know. Favorite thing about today. Yesterday was, I guess it's called National Daughters Day.
You stole that. That's what I was going with too.
So we can do it together.
All right. Okay. I'm just saying for how much we talk about our daughters, we totally blew yesterday because yesterday was National Daughters Day. We both didn't do it during this segment.
I know. Well, all right. Well, that's what my favorite thing about today was because I heard it referred to by grandma, and I was like, oh, I didn't say it on the show. So I went back and looked.
If it wasn't for Facebook, I'd have no idea. But it literally, my entire Facebook feed is everyone doing this, and I was like, "Oh, whoops!"
Right. So I did the same thing. I heard her say it, and I was like, I blew it. I didn't say it on the show. And I went back and looked at some old tweets, and I retweeted the tweet that I did after I got out of the hospital.
Oh, right. Yeah.
With my daughter saving my life.
Right.
So it was on there. So if you haven't seen it, you go back, just scroll back at Sports BK and see. It's crazy, dude, because the responses from people from 3 years ago, that was my first tweet. I was out of commission. I came home and I wrote the story time from the book, and everybody was like, oh my God, like you knew because you had talked to Jess and you communicated. But a lot of people were like,
didn't know, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, holy shit, are you okay? Like, thank God you're okay. And you're tweeting and you're talking in the tweet, but like nobody even knew I was talking. It was nuts. And like Dink replied to the thing, and like I saw his response, and it's crazy what we see on the Twitter. But yes, National Daughters Day was yesterday. My kids were home. When I wrote the story while I was in the hospital, the words blessed, lucky, and grateful kept coming up. And that's basically Kylie, blessed, Kelsey, lucky, and Kendall, grateful, how I felt when each one of them was born. So, yes, favorite thing about today, daughters, being a girl dad, all that other stuff. What's yours?
I'm not going to copy it, but yes, I had the same thoughts when I was like, shoot, it's like we didn't talk about our kids. That was unlike us to go ahead and do that. My favorite thing about today is, if you've not seen it, it's on my Twitter account. The University of Oregon put out a 5-minute sizzle reel from what happened in their game against Colorado. In the first 3 minutes, or 2 minutes probably, you will be somewhat taken aback at the things that were being said to Oregon players from Colorado players.
Woo!
Like, they were running their mouths in a wild way.
Woo!
They were ripping up the O at the center of the field.
Yeah, you got to stop that.
They were doing all sorts of and I loved what the Oregon coaches were telling the players. Now, I don't know if it was saying other things, but what they put on video was the Oregon coaches saying, they're not worth your attention. They're not worth your attention. Keep focused on what you're going to do. Keep focused on what you're going to do. It is, if you're not a fan of Oregon, you don't like Coach Lanning, you don't like his program, you're not going to like the video. But if you're kind of indifferent like I am, you're going to come away with going like, that's a program worth paying attention to, because they're all in. They have all bought in. Oregon's team has bought in. And Bo Nix is playing at a really high level. And this is a team that could win the Pac-12 and make the college football playoffs.
Is it too much with these hype videos and all this other stuff?
No. And that's what people, when I tweeted it, the thing everyone came back to was like, oh, I thought he wasn't doing it for clicks. I thought he wasn't talking for clicks. Okay, but it's not him doing it per se. It's the University of Oregon, but Oregon's always been about attention. Oregon's always, look at the uniforms, look at the Nike stuff. They've always been about the look at us type of thing, right? That's Oregon. But the difference is the talking. Like, I understand that people who are going to be Deion apologists are really up in arms right now, and they love the idea that he's been saying, like, you better come get us now.
Yeah.
I can't believe Deion just doubled down on it. I thought he was smarter than that. Like, what are you doing? Because now you built that in. Every time you get your ass kicked this year, people are going to say, better get you now, huh? Better get you now, huh? Like, I know Deion's going to build a really good program, but it's still Colorado, guy. All right? You're still trying to recruit against Georgia. You're still trying to recruit against Ohio State. You're still trying to recruit against Michigan. It's not easy to recruit to Colorado, okay? Still hard. So I know he's bringing Lil Wayne, and I know he's changing everything up and blah, 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 but that's what he's going to use as an excuse when he leaves Colorado, that I couldn't get the kids I wanted to come here, so I'm going to go to the South where the kids are. I'm going to go to them. When he goes there, then I'll hear Deion national championship, college football playoffs, all that stuff. As long as he's in Boulder, Colorado, I ain't concerned about Colorado being in the playoffs.
Listen, I love sports, and I was one of the biggest yappers on the ice ever. Mm-hmm. I did never shut up. My wife would come watch me play even as an adult, and she's like, would you shut up? I'm like, that's part of the game. I love talking. I don't care.
Right.
I'm good with all of it. Like, this is the game. The
Not
banter
the
back and
public.
forth.
The public talking is not the game, though. This
Well,
is that's
what I think now has
Yeah, this is-
crossed too much over into
Yeah.
stuff that, like, I don't think people want to see. And now
Well,
we
they don't
see
wanna
everything
see
with
it
our phones.
because they don't want to
Like-
see it because it's the braggadocious nature that we don't like our kids to have. Like we don't. I mean, whenever I see Madeline starting to peacock in any way, I bring her down to earth real fast.
Well, that's what needs to happen.
Like
right?
I like humbling, right? So Colorado got humbled by Oregon. So the response, instead of Dion saying, you know, we're going to learn from this, we're going to go back to work. Clearly, the kids weren't ready to go. He went on some diatribe about the fact that you better get me now. You're going to get me. You better get me now. Because what we're going to be. Wait a minute. I thought you were asking everybody, do I believe now? Which is it? Do I believe in you, in your team, or do I believe that you suck now and you won't suck in the future? Like which you can't keep moving the goalposts about what we're doing here. That's my problem with Dion now. Is it he's looking for answers and excuses like any bully that gets punched in the nose. He's now reeling and falling back. And like, I got to worry about what? The sophomore in high school right now? I got to worry about that kid. When that kid gets to Boulder, I'm worried about that. Like, what am I worried about? So that's my whole problem with it. And that's why I'm good with what Oregon did, because it's a reminder at some point, it's a reminder to Colorado. And I can't wait to see it this weekend against USC. Because do they talk before the game the way they talked before the Oregon game?
I think they do.
I think they do too. And I think USC is going to run the fucking score to 100 on them.
I don't think there's repercussions of the talking anymore. There used to be repercussions of the
it's
talking.
scoreboard now. They just run the
Yeah,
score.
but it doesn't matter.
They ran a fake
they
punt
talk
up by-
again.
They're up
Once
by
you
30.
get humbled
Yeah,
like
but
that,
Oregon was up by 30. They ran a fake punt up 30.
So
I mean,
once you get humbled like that, like you don't talk again.
you would think, but that's
That's-
not the world today anymore.
You
They'll
know,
keep
when
on
we
talking.
were younger, you could
Yeah.
talk until you got punched in the mouth, and then you shut the
Shut
fuck
up.
up.
But that's not what
You know, and then
I
you
can't
could
wait to
talk
see it.
again when you actually won or did something. Like now, there's no repercussions.
Shedeur Sanders got into nearly a fist fight with two coaches,
Doesn't make sense. Like that's
head coaches.
that stuff is just it's out of control. That stuff is what I'm talking. Like you can't do that. Like, and when the chirping gets too much from the players and the kids, the coach has got to say, "Shut the fuck up" to their own players.
But that's not what Dion's doing. He is allowing it to go.
Not only
And
allowing it,
He's pushing
got
it.
guys videoing it and
Yeah,
pushing
right.
it out.
Again,
As
when
the
you
coach, you gotta
lose,
be responsible for your
what
own
you
stuff.
do, you show character when you lose. It's easy to be, I don't know, a positive person. It's easier to be a stand-up person when you win. It's harder to do it when you lose. Your character gets shown when you lose.
Right.
And the Buffaloes failed against Oregon. So far, that is an L. That's a loss and a failure. And I thought Dion's press conference was equally a failure by saying, you better get me now.
Oh, look at that face. Oh my God, Mikey Awesome's gonna get you bad. Oh, look at that face. They got you bad there. They got you bad, Perrault.
That's fine. It's all good.
That's all good.
Calling my cable operator because this is happening consistently now.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with the cable, with the internet.
Just reset everything after the show.
What do you mean? I reset it before. Remember what happened on Friday
Oh,
or 2 Fridays ago?
well, it was fine after that though.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, like there's a lot of things that just it has to. You got to police your own house. You got to police your own house. Whether you're a parent, you're a kid, you're a coach, you always got to police your own house. Let the kids have fun. Let them enjoy success, but you got to remind them that you could lose too. Lose with grace. Like we had people come up to us at softball tournaments when we got smoked and say, "You guys are the best team we ever played against. We like the way you coach." We've had umpires come up to me and say,
"Oh wow,
Coach, you're doing a good job with your team. Thank you." You know why? What? Because you can see the kids really care and they take pride in what they're doing. Thanks. They didn't know whether we won or lost. They were just watching.
Right.
That says something to me. So
yeah, I mean, you're playing.
I'm a
high
fan
level.
of. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Dion. Like I love the back and forth. I love the banter. I was a big fan of him when he was playing. but you can't let them kids like the stuff that some of them
But
kids were
that's,
saying
I mean,
in the
it's
videos
just
was like too
him.
much.
Yeah, it's just him. He was talking about, I mean, he was like, they were saying things about you're too small and you're too little and you guys aren't going to be like that's what you're going to do. Like he was just like, it was like a freshman in high school type crap. It was just really weird.
Yeah.
And then he went out and lost 42-6.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Like it just, you talk, that's what I mean. I cannot wait for the pregame for USC. Like everyone's saying like,
whole stomping on a field and trying to mess up the other team's logo. It's got to stop.
it's got to stop. But Shador Sanders is going to start. There's going to be a brawl at some point with the way he's behaving pregame.
But like Juju was doing it for the Steelers. He was doing that. And somebody in the locker room finally said, "Hey, Juju,
Stop it.
Stop doing it." What do you mean? I'm doing the videos. You're giving them a reason that they don't, it ain't me.
Right.
You're doing that. That's not the team. That's not us. And that's not what the Steelers do.
Right.
So stop doing it.
But that's different because it is what Dion does.
Well, Dion never in his playing career went and stomped at the other teams.
True. That's
Perrault
very
always
true.
did that.
That's true. That's very true.
He didn't do that.
It's very true. I mean, but talking smack to other teams, to other adults when you're a 19, 20-year-old kid, yelling at them, basically having to be holding guys back from talking to adults is like, what are you? And going after Matt Rule was like, what are you doing? This is crazy.
I saw that one video where the one part of the video was like, "I'm going to take you and your coaches and kick your ass," or whatever. And I was like, "You're going to what?"
Right. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking like that for?
And then you saw the strength coach for Oregon.
He said, don't give him your attention.
Don't like, and I looked at that guy and I was like, ain't nobody kicking that guy's ass ever. Right? Like, it's just nobody's fighting.
The strength coach at Oregon? Yeah, it's not the guy you want to play
see
around
that
with.
guy? I mean, he was a beast, and he kept telling them guys, don't say the word, just don't say nothing. We'll talk on the field. We'll talk with our pads.
Right.
They did.
And that's what I mean. Watch Oregon. I'm curious. Watch Oregon. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. A lot more baseball to get into as well. Back around the same place, same time. Hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a review as well. Matt, Dave, back tomorrow for a Wednesday's BVB.